Pleasure to meet you, sir.
Are you guys worn out about now? You know, with the guests talking?
Never. Well, welcome to San Antonio.
Thank you. I like it. It's a walking city. I like it. I like the people. Everybody's kind of nice, man, compared to LA, you know.
Hey, there you go. Are we on big stage? There you go.
I just wanted to show you this spot.
Is this your first time in San Antonio?
No, I've been here before because I've been passing through on my way to do movies in Texas. Mm-hmm. You know, I was on my way to Houston, but we stopped in San Antonio. Mm-hmm. We did powder up there, so it's cool.
Very nice. And fans, again, we have limited time, so again, if you'd like to ask a question, just go ahead and line up. We'll get to you in just a few moments.
Yeah, let's do the questions now.
Questions now, okay.
I don't have much to say. I mean,
who would like to go first?
Nobody. Okay, all right, I'll see you guys. Okay.
There we go, we got a question coming up. Gentlemen, I believe you may know.
Oh, buddy. Okay. This is called a ringer or a clacker.
Fantastic actor. Lance, tell us how you got started in acting.
Oh
Great question.
Man. Oh, boy. I got off a ship. I had sailed to Europe, and I got off a ship. I was working on it. And then when I got off, what is the name of that company? We did a play called in Theater in the Courthouse. And it was, what was it? God, I forget the name of the studio that was doing it. But it was downtown. It was off Broadway. And they were doing 3 plays at the sea. And somebody told me about it, so I went down and thought, maybe I could get a part, you know, just something. And so I got down there and the guy said, okay, hey, you look right for it, you know, you want to read? And I said, I knew I was trapped because at that time I really couldn't read very well at all. And so I said, I can build the set, the ship and everything. I just got off a ship, so I know how to do it. And, you know, I know what it looks like. And then he said, really, you do that? And I said, oh yeah, I do that. And he goes, okay, let's read. And I went, and I could do the lighting. So I kind of conned my way into the part. He never read me. And I got a guy to put it all on tape, and I memorized the whole play, everybody's part. I didn't know you weren't supposed to do that, but I did. And then we ran the play for a month, and that was the beginning. I just bungled my way through it. Absolutely. Were you expecting that? No. But that's how it started. And we were sold out every night that we performed. And Pacino came down to see it, and they wouldn't let him in. The place was too full. I told him about it later, and he thought it was pretty funny, man. Wow. But anyway. And then right after the show, we all went to a bar, you know, like you do, after opening night. And my picture was in the New York Times. And they said maybe the part would be better for someone a bit less soulful. And I thought, hey, that's not a bad review. It's not. But anyway, that was the beginning.
Awesome. Yeah. Great question. Thank you, sir.
Hey, buddy.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
In your career, what's the favorite role you've played?
I knew you were going to do that. You know, I have to tell you, I got to be truthful, right? Otherwise, why am I sitting here if I can't? I'm like a guy who, I finish a job. Where you going? No. I finish a job, and I'm like a cat leaving a cat box. You know, it does its business, and then it leaves, and it doesn't look back. It does not look back. The only thing I remember about my work and the people I've worked with are those great moments that happen by the chemistry of us all, you know. So I don't have a favorite. I've got favorite moments, but it wouldn't be enough to answer your question. It really...
That's fair.
What the hell am I saying? Anyway, I just let the cat out of the bag, didn't I? Anyway, young lady.
Yes. Next question.
Hi, Lance. I wanted to offer my condolences on the passing of Bill Paxton. I'm sure y'all were good friends. Y'all made a few films together. And I wanted to ask you if you had any favorite memories of his you can share with us?
From Alien versus Predator?
Anything. Alien.
I have better
Dark.
lines coming from Randy Newman's songs than anything I ever did. I mean, that again, like the cat leaving the cat box. I mean, it's like, I'm so sorry, guys. This is my nature you're seeing here.
Oh.
That tells you more about me than my answers.
Oh. Do you have any favorite memories with Bill Paxton?
Oh, Bill.
Oh, with Billy? Oh,
Any
yeah.
memories with Bill Paxton? Is that what the question was? Okay.
Yeah.
Any great memories?
We did a couple of good films together. We did Near Dark and we did Aliens, obviously, but he also did a rock video for Martini Ranch. Did you ever hear one of his songs or anything?
Fish
No.
Heads.
But I let him use my 36 Ford to do it, and Catherine Bigelow was in it. Jim Cameron directed it. What else? All kinds of actor buddies were in there. And that was great. That was a great moment. And Billy he was cutting loose. He was like, I don't know, I think he was 15 or something, but no, he wasn't. He was an older guy, but he had a lot of energy. Really cool guy. Yeah. Billy and I have always wanted to challenge what we were doing. Near Dark was a good example, and Aliens, I don't know how many, maybe 100 men that I've met in shows like this that have all joined the Marines because they like the buddy thing.
Wow.
And they really, this is serious, they did. Yeah, they all talk about it too. Because that movie is not aging at all for some reason.
It's timeless.
I am, but not the movie. But anyway.
Thank you.
Yeah, Billy was a good guy. We all know that. Yeah.
Next question, sir. Sure. Get close to the mic. Okay.
Hey, Lance.
Did you put the baseball bat down before you asked me? I'm kidding, man. You're going to have it.
I'm a huge fan, and the Aliens movies are epic. I love them. With Ridley Scott trying to work on Alien sequels now, and maybe even James Cameron trying to get into it, would you come back to play the role of Bishop? Would you be interested in that?
Yeah, I'm the older version of Bishop. Bishop actually did age. No, I have no intention of doing that. I think I've done 4 of them. Mm-hmm. Every time the writers get stumped, in writing this thing, they go, I got an idea, let's bring back Bishop. And they write some stuff, and I go to London and have a cup of tea and come home. They had me actually, they told me that. Just come have a cup of tea and go home. And then I went 4 trips in 1 month, round trips. I don't want to do Bishop again. And I don't know that Ridley Scott really notices me or likes me or anything, so I'm blatantly honest. Hi, Ridley. Hi. No. Hi, Ridley. Hi.
Awesome. Awesome.
I hope I answered your question. Did I? Or did I miss it completely?
Oh, no, you answered it.
No,
Thank
you were
you
clear,
so much.
pretty clear on that.
Thank
So
you. What was the tip-off?
First, I want to say I'm a huge fan. Always have been of your work, and I just want to know on Aliens when you worked with Billy, the knife scene. Did you do all that knife stuff, or was it?
You're my friend. You know exactly what happened. I did.
Yeah,
I did. The funny part of that story is that Jim called me about a month before I went to London, and he said, "You remember when I'm trying to figure out how to introduce Bishop?" And so he said, "Remember when we were kids, we played with the knives and do the knife thing?" And I said, "Oh yeah, I did it. I got the scars to prove it." And knowing him, I got every knife, every hand knife that you could, you could try it with. And I practiced with all of them because he might have gone, let me see, I'm gonna do this one. You know, and I wanted to be ready. So I got to England, and they opened my suitcases at customs and pulled a towel back, and there were like 20 knives sitting there, switchblades and every kind of knife you can imagine. And I had bought them all. And then, but I had been practicing so much that what you saw of his hand, that was not sped up. That was me doing that.
Yeah, that's
and you see the table chipping, you know, that's real.
Wow.
The part they sped up was the long shot.
Okay.
You know, that sped that up. But we had, Bill and I, we went out and partied with everybody. We were supposed to fly back to LA. And so we got really hammered. You know, we were drinking good old-fashioned British beer. And so we go home, and I think I dreamt Cameron saying, "You got to come back," because it didn't look right, the knife thing. And I said, and I went back to sleep. Well, I woke up to, come on, there's a car waiting, and so we had to go back, and we both had headaches, like hangovers. And then I had to do the knife thing again. And I went, oh, one of us is going to die here. Anyway, I did the whole thing. I set it up. And at the last second, Bill's little pinky snuck in. And so I did it. I did it really fast, but I gave him a blood blister. You know, I caught him and he went, God! Yeah, it was like I shot him or stabbed him with an ice pick. He acted like that. And I said, come on, Bill. But we always had fun, no matter what we were doing.
Yeah, I had fun with
trust was there.
Yeah.
It wasn't like this kind of evil relationship that's
you
going
and I
on
had.
between us.
Okay, well, I'll see you tonight at the
Yeah, all
bar.
right. God bless you, buddy. Go ahead.
Great question. Thank you.
What up?
Hey, man.
Hello. I'm gonna go ahead and take us off.
Thanks, Spidey.
Just wanted to say it's a good honor to meet you. And there's
Hi.
a story, apparently, Bill Paxton, it was on Near Dark, where he pranked a truck guy with his makeup. Is there any merit to that?
He did what?
He pranked someone with his makeup. Like, it was just some random person that just showed up and he just, snuck
Oh,
up on
well,
him.
no,
Yeah.
when we were shooting, we were in a little town called Coolidge, Arizona.
Yeah.
And a freight train had the habit of stopping with the engine right at the blocking the road. It's way out in the country. And Bill had just done a scene where his head split in half and he's bleeding, and he punched a hole in the hood of the truck and ripped out all the wires. And anyway, so we were taking a break in between, and he sees the train pull in and stop. And he walks down the road like with that strut that he was using in the movie. He goes, "Hey, buddy, just had an accident down here." And the guy's holding the rail of the train looking down at him. He said, "You should see the other guy." The guy almost passed out. It really was. He didn't know what was going on.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, but that's Billy. That's what.
Yeah.
Yeah, we also were going to head to Tombstone, buy a bottle of wine from Coolidge, and sit at the side of the road where the old cemetery was and reminisce about the men we had killed in the past or that we outlived, right? So we were heading there, and the cops get us because I was driving and going too fast. And by the way, I never paid the ticket. That was in 1986, so I never paid that ticket. But anyway, Bill said, "Don't mess with this guy. I mean, he's a young state trooper. Don't, Lance, don't." And I get out of the car and I walk up to the guy, and I was still, we had shot all night. I was really tired, but I was still feeling like Jesse Hooker. And I said, "What did I do?" And I'm looking at him like, "Here's my next meal." And as he looked up, he went, and he put his hand on his gun, and I went, "Everything's all right. What's the matter with you?" He let me go. He said, "Just get out of here." It was like, because I looked like, like I rolled off of a freight train or something. There's a lot of stories like that. I mean, We walked around constantly with black umbrellas. Billy did. He used the black umbrella. And I used mountain climbing sunglasses that with a cover for my nose. You know what I mean? We were looking weird all the time, pretty much.
Sounds like a fun set.
Are we done?
No.
No? Okay. How many more?
We got a few more right here.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
How you doing, Lance? Just out of curiosity, when you actually worked on The Quick of the Dead with Gene Hackman and Sharon Stone, how much fun did you have doing Ace Hanlon?
Oh man, I loved that character. I really did. When I saw the wardrobe, I knew exactly who he was. I asked, the first day I got up on the set up in Tucson, outside of Tucson, I asked the Wranglers to pull out a big white horse. Because for a month, I always get a month, usually, before I'm working. A couple of weeks to a month. I was working on flipping off the horse, you know, turning in the saddle and flipping off backwards, and then shooting under the belly. And I said to him, bring out that big white horse. That's a tall one. I wanted that. And Sam Raven was standing there, and I said, Sam, you got to see this, because I believe that Ace is a real showman. You know, even at the point where back in the old days they would go, you know, they do that kind of, you know, cowboy showman move. And I flipped off the horse and shot under the belly, and did that move. And Sam said, oh, that's in the movie. That's in the movie. I said, I did the right thing. I caught him at the right moment, I guess, you know. Yeah, and Hackman, I could have killed him easy. I practiced with my guns. I mean, anyway.
You know, it's funny, out of all the Westerns that, you know, some of these guys have done, Ace Hamlin is one of the ones that stands out for a lot of people. Personally, I think he could have actually taken that fight and not had another chance with it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have taken that fight. If he was that good, I would have snuck out of town. There you go.
Thank you, sir, for the question.
Anytime.
Thank you, buddy.
Awesome. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I was just wondering if there's been anything you've ever snuck from a scene or like a movie. Have you ever taken anything from like the Alien set or anything like that?
Have you taken anything from the set, any props?
Oh, no, I don't save anything from movies, because otherwise I'd end up being a psychopath. I'd be looking at it, you know. But the coat from Near Dark, I gave to a battered women's shelter, and they auctioned it off, and they got $5,000 for it.
Wow.
So it's like I've often given them that way, you know, and because I did the movie, it's in me, it's in my body already, you know. So yeah.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. It's a great question.
Yeah, very good question.
Why did you want to buy some?
Out of there, Lance.
Hey, buddy.
In Terminator, despite the fact that you may have had actually a limited role, I really appreciated the banter that you had with the other lieutenant, I believe.
No, he was my captain.
Oh, wow, captain.
You're
okay.
talking about Paul Winfield?
Yeah.
No, he was my boss.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I just appreciated the banter that y'all all two had right there, and it was so organic and everything. And despite the fact that Terminator might actually have side stories here and there through the whole quote-unquote meta universe or whatever that James happens to be doing with it, of course they can't bring your character back. However, a prequel with y'all two literally as a buddy cop movie, that would be amazing. And essentially, I know it can't exactly happen right now, but if something like that were to come about, would you be a consultant?
Well, you're dressed a little bit like the Terminator, man. What are you trying to say?
No, I think I'm more Bill, you know, where he gets his heart ripped out and everything.
I know, man. No, that was a great fun movie to do, because Winfield and I, somehow our sense of humor kicked in on each other, and it was very dry humor.
Yeah, but it worked.
But we had fun. I mean, you know what I mean? It's not, when you say a limited role, what did you mean by that?
Well, well, y'all two clicked and everything, and y'all caught my attention, but there wasn't a whole lot of screen time. I would have really liked to see you guys actually talk more to each other.
I know, they wanted us to do a television series, two cops that act like
Wait,
that.
are you actually serious?
No.
Oh, no, that would have been so awesome. But just my question being is that if James actually were to do somewhat of biographies of the side characters throughout the Terminator universe. Could you actually consult on that, or would you not have your hands muddled in that at all?
Well, you have a really interesting way of talking. I would not have my hands muddled in it. If they're paying me, I'll muddle.
Oh, yeah, that's... Yeah.
Anyway, all right, guys.
Great question. Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
One more, and then always leave people wanting. You know, I don't want to bore you to death.
All right, one more question. Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for coming, Mr. Henriksen. My question is about your great TV series, Millennium, and
Yes.
whether you loved playing the character of Frank Black, and if maybe there's plans to revive that TV series like they have the X-Files.
I got to tell you, right now there is a documentary coming out, and all the interviews are about their place in Millennium.
Okay.
The thing I felt about doing Millennium was that I'm playing a man who's far more educated than I am, and his intuition is very, very strong. And so I never trivialized. I felt like I found the character in pieces in the first month of doing it. I'd read a lot of books. I'm very well read now, by the way. But anyway, I felt that he was non-judgmental, but he needed to get bad guys out off the street. But it wasn't like he was judging him. What he wanted to do was find out how why, all those things. And it was a very dignified role for that reason. You know, so there is an actual group of men down in Manassas, Virginia, who are like the Academy Group. You know, they are the Academy Group, and they do threat assessment for corporations. They're very, very skilled at this, because there are a lot of serial murders in America, and they really want to get to the bottom of things as quick as they can, that kind of thing. So I met them. I met them every year that I did the show, and then they would start testing me on who do I think did the job, and who did this, who murdered this. And I got good at starting to break it down. I hope those are not two murderers leaving. You're making me uncomfortable.
You can take your pick around here, sir.
Okay. Hey, buddy, thanks for the question.
Thanks, sir.
I really appreciate San Antonio. Thank you, guys. It's really been a fun couple of days, so I just wanted to thank you and say I'll see you around for sure. We'll see each other around.
Give it up for Lance Henriksen, guys. Thank you, sir, for your time.